I am happy to have the opportunity to introduce our speaker today, the Honorable John Charles Thomas. Judge John Charles Thomas is a retired justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia. He earned the Bachelor of Arts in American Government with distinction from the University of Virginia in 1972. Later, he earned the Juris Doctorate from the University of Virginia School of Law in 1975. Judge John Charles Thomas has had a remarkable career. He was the first African American and youngest judge to ever sit on the Supreme Court of Virginia. In the role as Justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia, he ruled on thousands of appellate matters addressing the full range of Virginia law, including contracts, property, trust, estates, and taxation. He is admitted to practice before the Supreme Court of Virginia, the Supreme Court of the United States, and the United States Court of Appeals for the 4th, 6th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Circuits. Judge Thomas is also a AAA certified mediator and arbitrator. Committed to his career, Judge Thomas has authored several books, and he's a member of several boards, including the Board of Visitors of the College of William and Mary and the Thomas Jefferson Foundation. He is also a member of the Virginia, Richmond, Old Dominion, National, International, and American Bar Associations. Judge John Charles Thomas is currently a senior partner with Hunton Williams, a law firm that has over 800 lawyers and 19 locations. A profound speaker and lecturer, Judge Thomas has delivered speeches across the country and around the world. Not only is he one of the great legal minds of our time, but he is also an outstanding poet who recently presented his work at Carnegie Hall. We were pleased to have the privilege of having Judge Thomas as our opening convocation speaker. He did such an outstanding job that the senior class, as well as faculty and staff, urged me to invite him back. Ladies and gentlemen, in my judgment, you're in for a treat. Please join me in welcoming our 2014 commencement speaker and my friend, the Honorable John Charles Thomas. Judge Thomas.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harvey. Hampton is so beautiful, and the Harveys have done a wonderful job in leadership for these 36 years, have they not? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, to my wife Pearl, to all the mothers here that have been recognized already. We can't recognize you enough. And on this Mother's Day here at Hampton, it is well to keep in mind that Hampton University has always been mindful of the role of mothers in getting students to this point in their lives. For what does the alma mater say? Kind mother will cherish the dear happy days we have spent here in life's preparation, as we with brave hearts go upon our chosen ways of service to God and our nation. We're at that moment where it's time to go out into the world with brave hearts. And so it's my joy to be here with you on this moment of transition. No matter what you call it, you can call it a milestone, a threshold, a turning point, a pivot point, call it what you want, you will never forget this day. And it took sacrifice to get here. We know it. Somebody had to pinch pennies to get here. Yeah, somebody had to work more than one job. You know it. Somebody had to stay up late at night to have you here. But when you have struggle, and when you work as hard as you work to be here, sometimes you want to hear that it was worthwhile, and I'm here to tell you it's worthwhile. Every step on this journey, every late night in front of a computer screen, all these things you did are worthwhile because you have laid the foundation here at Hampton that will be part of you for the rest of your life, and the love that you feel for Hampton will lift you up for 50 years, 60 years, 100 years on into time, because that's what Hampton does to you. I have never in my whole life, and I know a whole lot of Hampton grads, I never met one who didn't just love Hampton. You put 2 and 3 of them together, the next thing you know, they got their arms around each other, kicking their legs, singing their alma mater. Y'all know you do it. So Hampton infects you. Hampton gets all deep inside of you. And so no matter where you go, every gold medal winning Olympic athlete who went to Hampton, every national teacher of the year, every Fortune 500 executive who went to Hampton, every Miss Virginia who went to Hampton, every governor of the Virgin Islands who went to Hampton, every assistant to President Obama who went to Hampton, all 25 of my relatives from the Sears family of Norfolk and the Walden family in Suffolk, every one of them will tell you, I love Hampton. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for this powerful connection. I can understand it myself, though I didn't go to Hampton. I was raised as if I did. I've been a baby pirate since I could talk. And so I know that this special place gets all deep in your soul. And I can understand it because not many people in the world get to know that their very purpose of their alma mater was to take the initial steps to bring black people from slavery into freedom. That's Hampton's journey. Not many graduates get to look back on the place where they went to school and say that I am meant to be part of the arc of progress and change for my people in the world. That's a heavy burden, but that's part of the Hampton love story, because that's what gets inside of you when you're here. And so going to Hampton makes it hard to leave Hampton. So going to Hampton, even on graduation day, you wind up with mixed emotions. You know you want to go, you know you want to finish, you know that you're happy to have cleared all the qualifications, but to leave Hampton is to move from the known into the unknown, from a present that you know into a future that is unsure. To leave Hampton is to move from the gentle sound of the waters lapping up against the boat dock to the stormy seas of day-to-day living. It is to move from the inviting circles of your fraternities and sororities and clubs to the cold stares of strangers who do not yet know who you are. It's to leave the sound of the flags fluttering in the breeze in front of Ogden Hall, or the distant sound of the marching band when they're practicing for a big game, or the lovely view across the water from the beautiful new cafeteria, or the vista in front of the mansion house. You know, humans like certainty. We enjoy being in familiar places, surrounded by familiar faces, doing the things that we know. But life being as it is confronts us with newness all the time, new knowledge, new places, new faces, new sights, new sounds, and uncertainty. Thus, even though our affection draws us to want to stay here, the truth of the matter and the nature of things is that time moves only forward, and in the vortex of times we are pushed from where we are into the future. And so on a day like this, you're something like the trapeze artist who is caught in midair. You let go of one trapeze, the other one is in sight, but you haven't gotten there yet, and at that moment, you are almost suspended in time. But the trapeze artist has something going for him. He has momentum, which means that if he let go at just the right time, with just the right amount of speed, at just the right angle, he's going to reach the next place and grab hold. You are in a similar situation, graduates, here at Hampton today, because at Hampton, you have gotten into the intellectual swing of things. You have engaged your mind. You have learned how to think. You've come to grips with your coursework. You've been tested. You studied. You hit your marks. You worked hard to make it through Dr. Carolyn Morgan's math class. You struggled through Dr. Marilyn Salisbury's pharmacy class on drug interaction. Oh, yeah, you did. And you had to understand the cycles of history in Professor Robert Watson's history class. Oh, yeah. In other words, each one of you has done all the things that you needed to do to prepare for this moment, and so you leave Hampton at the top of your game, and just like the trapeze artist, you are leaving Hampton with the momentum of achievement pushing you, which means that all you got to do is reach out, and you're going to reach the next level. All you got to do is have faith that when you let go with what you have already, you're going to be propelled to the next stop. Oh yeah, all you got to do is believe I have enough in me. I have enough from where I come from to go on to change the world. And our world needs change. Today in our nation and around the world, we face stark realities of fellow citizens who are deeply concerned about tomorrow. Will there be jobs? Can I feed my family? Can I educate my children? Can I make it? Will war never end? Will there ever be peace on earth? All around the world, there are some on the verge of hopelessness, some cold, some hungry, many uneducated, some have never known freedom. And here, even at home in America, with all our blessings, we still have children who can barely read, students who have no idea of current events, no appreciation of history, no competence in science. Some kill each over a pair of shoes and over messages that are sent over the internet. And they have no idea how to force change. But despite all these dismal headlines and despite all the difficulties that we see, the message I bring to you is still a message of hope. Because this graduating class of Hampton that I look out upon here, this graduating class with all your youthful energy, all the resolve, all the energy that is within you, you have the power to make a difference in this dismal world. And so I say to you that because you are architects, you can build. Because you are engineers, you can construct new designs. Because you are teachers, you can bring the children into knowledge. Because you are nurses, you can heal the sick. Because you are scientists, you can find new cures. Because you are soldiers, because you're going to be lawyers, because you are innovators, you got what it takes to grab the nation by the scruff of its neck and turn it around. But you might say to me, Justice, I'm just one person. How can I do it just by myself? How can one person change anything? But then if you ask me that question, you're not understanding the nature of Hampton. Because it's not the one that makes the difference. It's the individuals working together, linked together by the power that Hampton has, that gives you the real power to change the world. And so what I'm saying to you is, you can't eat a Big Mac in one bite, you never could. It takes little bites at big problems that can change the world. And so if each and every one of you acts with fairness, honor, fortitude, determination, excellence everywhere you go, then America will feel the collective weight of the class of 2014 from Hampton. And so that means that the plight of the world and all the things we've talked about, that shouldn't turn you around. That shouldn't turn you off. That should motivate you. That should make you say, this is my time. This is when the world needs the spirit of the blue and the white. This is the moment when I turn to myself and I ask myself, do I have what it takes to make a difference? And then you say to yourself, yes, I do. And yes, I can. And you will remember from your philosophy courses that it has long been said that all it takes for evil to prevail in the world is for good men and women to sit down and be quiet. And you'll remember from physics that the second law of thermodynamics says that a system to which no energy is applied devolves into chaos. What does that mean in this world? That means that if you don't do it, if you don't demand justice, demand hope, demand equality, demand fairness, make it happen, it's not going to happen, because the world will not change on its own. And so we ask you to be fearless in pursuit of making America the more perfect union that the Constitution wrote about at its very beginning. You have accomplished so much while you were here, and what you do next depends on what you are and what you think and what you try to do and what you hope to do. It depends on a whole lot of conditions, and the conditional is if you're brave, if you're courageous, if you're thoughtful, if you just go out there, if you raise your hand, if you say, I will, if you use what you've learned, if you are good, if you do all these things, if you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or talk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then the song that is Hampton will sing within you, and the hope that is Hampton will not be undone. 2014 graduates of Hampton, if you love Hampton like you say you do, like we know you do, then you cannot but help let your lives do the singing in service that will thy great spirit prolong. I love you. God bless you.